everybody.
Hi, friends. Well, from beautiful and ever so slightly snowy Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
where we, a couple of atheists, try to make sense of life here in these United States.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up on the show today, Dan, we have our suggestions for what to get all panicky about in 2026.
This is a time of panic in this country and probably the whole world. I don't know. I can't pay attention to what's happening everywhere. But panic!
Oh, freak out, especially if you can feel it in your little moral tender parts.
Oh my gosh. It is it is a good time of moral panic.
But the best judgiest parts of your moral moral squishy parts.
And please don't use your intellect for this, because that's not what we're doing in 2026.
Yeah.
We're not using our brains. We're using our feels, and we're going off of vibes only. And that's what's happening going into this, what did we call it? The Squiskel Centennial. The 250th. I don't know what that is.
Sesquicentennial.
It's
Sesquibicentennial.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
Squidential Centennial. Yeah.
We all know America's turning 250. That really wasn't going to be the focus of the conversation.
No, it's not.
But it is going to be a big year.
Yeah.
In America, and I'm sure the rest of the world too. So, but we'll be getting to that in the second half of the show.
Oh,
first,
I know the word that I found was semi-quincentennial, meaning half of 500. What? There's no way it's semi-quincentennial. Shut up, everybody.
Like something that was like 200. Anyway.
But
there's news of the week, stuff we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Including Dan. Well, I might as well do the Christmas update, since we all just somehow found our way through the Christmas season.
We made it, you guys. Thank God. We survived. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas. But for those of you who didn't, you made it. You survived. Keep on going.
You know, and I mean, the clock's it's less than a year now before next Christmas. So
shush.
I mean, that makes me excited, knowing that it's less than a year now.
Yes.
But anyway, so the Trump administration, Dan, this Christmas. You know, I think nobody's surprised when political figures and government offices send out a holiday greeting.
Oh no, it happens every year.
Something nice.
It's
something
to be expected.
that wishes love and joy and peace in the world, right? Something generic. Maybe there's a little star. Maybe there's, a cozy scene of some kind, but generic, relatively generic
and
right?
warmth is what you expect.
Yeah. Some maybe that might be a little too Christmassy, but it's a nice scene.
Wait till you get to my story. We'll talk about too Christmassy. Go on with your story though.
Well, anyway, so members of the Trump administration, Dan, decided that they were going to celebrate Christmas by spreading some good Christian nationalist cheer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Through their official government accounts, and through emails, I'm sure, as well. Anyway, from Pete Hegseth, War Secretary.
Yeah.
Pete Hegseth. He said, today we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. May his light bring peace, hope, and joy to you and your families. That was posted publicly, officially, from the State Department.
Yeah.
The head of the State Department. The Defense Department.
Right.
Defense Department. State Department head, Marco Rubio, had this to say: the joyous message of Christmas is the hope of eternal life through Christ.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Talking about eternal life. Wow. Okay.
The Labor Department said, let Earth receive her king. Okay. Homeland Security said, "We are blessed to share a nation and a savior." Oh my God. And then they had a video that they posted along with it that includes images of the American flag, Christmas trees, Santa Claus, Donald Trump, and a nativity scene.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Homeland Security, for shitting on everybody who doesn't believe in that crap.
I do like the idea of Homeland Security doing a post where one of the images is of a family of refugees. I think that's kind of cute.
Good for them, you know.
Or a family that is about to be refugees at very least.
Yeah, they don't see it that way,
because the nativity family is as depicted are just about to flee to a foreign land.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago, Dan. Times have changed, right? We all know this. Times
and
change.
It's not like Jesus said anything about being nice to refugees or anything like that. He never said that.
Well, they didn't take the Egyptians' jobs. Right, isn't that where they went?
That's true.
Anywho,
there's no evidence that they did.
Anywho, this ruffled some feathers, Dan. This bothered some people.
Okay.
Including, Dan, this is how you know they've gone astray. The senior vice president for policy at the Cato Institute. That's a libertarian think tank, everybody.
Yeah.
These should be on the Republican side, typically.
Yeah.
A lot of times in this country. He says to say, Americans don't share a religion. Our state is secular. Hey, well, we'll put Alex Nowrist. That sounds like I said something backwards. And then Laura Kennedy, former ambassador who worked for George W. Bush and the Obama administrations, said, I am a Christian. I am also a proud American because our laws were designed to prohibit a national religion. Thank you, people, for pointing this out.
Yeah.
This painfully obvious thing out
that we've been screaming into the void about for well over a decade. But yeah. Great. I mean, I welcome all voices into our chorus. You know what I mean?
I mean, so I feel like there's been some crossing of the lines, right, in this country as far as like official things being a little too Christian-y. But it's more that it smacked of Christianity rather being like these people are just like racing over the line.
Oh,
like they are trying to get as far on the other side of the line as is possible.
Why don't I pause this conversation and enter into the mix my next story?
Okay.
Which is that of Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Okay. All right.
She's a peach. Boy, is she just great. And she, in her official capacity as the governor, this is not on X or whatever, or Truth Social. This is a proclamation that she officially made. She thereunto set her hand and caused the great seal of the state of Arkansas to be affixed thereunto.
Oh God, that sounds official, Dan.
It's very official. This is just the thing that gave all of the Arkansas state employees Christmas and the day after Christmas off. This is them getting the day off.
Okay. Okay.
So that is the function of this of this official order.
Okay.
Here's how it was worded.
Oh no.
To all to whom these to all to whom these presents come, greetings. Whereas you gotta phrase it in the whereases, otherwise it's not governmental officialness.
I love a good list of whereases.
They got to get rid of the whereases. It really bothers me because no one uses that in any other context anymore. Whereas more than 2 millennia ago, in the little town of Bethlehem, far from the centers of power in first century Rome, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, was born in a humble manger.
Yeah.
Whereas Jesus was the Messiah and became a teacher and leader, and he would be crucified, suffer for the sins of all mankind, die and be buried, and rise again on the third day to sit at the right hand of the Father. Whereas, but on that first Christmas, Christ's arrival was unassuming, witnessed only by Mary and Joseph, humble shepherds guided by angels, and 3 wise men from the east. It presaged his ministry, which was not focused on the wealthy or powerful, but rather on the poor, powerless, and meek. And whereas we give thanks for the arrival of Christ the Savior, who will come again in glory and whose kingdom will have no end, by celebrating his birth each year on Christmas Day, now, therefore, I, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, governor of the state of Arkansas, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the state of Arkansas, do hereby proclaim December 25th, 2025 as, quote, Christmas Day.
I'm glad she declared that, Dan. Because nobody else, I didn't know it was happening.
Yeah, it's not like that's already a federal holiday in the entire country.
But she declared it, Dan.
Yeah. And then she said, I further declare the state capitol and state offices will be closed on Friday, December 26th as well. It is like, that is much, I would say. She went far.
Too far, perhaps?
I mean, one could say unconstitutionally far. One could say criminally far, but like the Supreme Court of this land will not hold her to account for that.
Yeah.
She feels absolutely at ease doing that, and every non-Christian in Arkansas just has to suck it up and take it.
Yeah. Well, Arkansas, it's quite the place, Dan.
You and I have been to Arkansas.
Yeah. I've been to Arkansas plenty of times in my life. In fact, they just canceled PBS. You hear that?
No.
They because the state owns the local PBS, like the statewide PBS network or whatnot.
Oh.
And they disaffiliated with PBS.
Great.
It will now be like Arkansas Educational Television. I'd love to see what's going to be on that.
Oh my God. It sounds great.
It's going to be some sewing with Nancy, and
it will be Jesus puppets.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Yeah. All right.
Ugh.
Well, Dan.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay in the neck of the woods.
Oh.
In Oklahoma.
Okay. Yeah. Right next door.
Oh, God. You're right next door. Unfortunately close. They're unfortunately close to each other. I don't think anybody's happy about the other's proximity. Anyway, the University of Oklahoma, we talked about this story a few weeks ago, but basically as the story was developing, about a psychology student, an undergrad, who got a 0 on an assignment. Yeah. This was not her final grade. This was an assignment
for the class,
a response paper for this class that she was in. I guess still is in, responding to an article that had to do with gender identity and I think like bullying and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. And the instructor, so the student, first of all, decided that instead of actually following the instructions for the assignment, which was to respond to the paper in academic terms. Yeah, since,
she can
it's a college assignment.
She can still disagree with it. She just has to read it and respond to it.
In fact, the instructions were very open to disagreement.
Yeah.
Right. And anyway, so it's been this roiling controversy about who was right in this whole thing. Was it the instructor, a person by the name of Mel Kurth, and this student, Fulnicki? What was her name? I don't even care.
Yeah,
Samantha Fulnicki. Yeah. something.
Something.
Well, the University of Oklahoma has decided, they've ruled on the whole thing, and they've sided with the student, and they have they've dismissed the instructor, a graduate student. I think the graduate student will be able to continue in their studies,
but not as an
instructor. Even though anybody who read the assignment and read the paper that the student was responding to is just like, what the fuck? Right.
Yeah. After you did the story on the show, I went and read her essay and the essay to which it was meant to be responding.
Yeah.
And that's a 0 paper.
Yeah.
That is like, anyone in academia should be able to instantly recognize that regardless of your position on trans people. And by the way, if you're a psychology student, your position on trans people is kind of irrelevant to the question of like, how do we best help someone who's in pain? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
entirely irrelevant. But also, she did not answer any of the prompt for the essay.
No,
she did not.
Instead, she referenced the Bible, and her religious feelings. She said things like, quote, society pushing the lie that there are multiple genders and everyone should be whatever they want to be is demonic and severely harms American youth.
Yeah.
And saying that it would lead society farther from God's original plan for humans, stuff like this. In the feedback that Kurth offered after giving the paper a 0, it says that the paper did not answer the questions for the assignment. It contradicted itself. It relied on personal ideology over evidence and is, quote, at times offensive.
Mm-hmm.
Also adding, please note that I am not deducting points because you have certain beliefs. Right? Made it perfectly clear. This isn't about the beliefs. This is your failure to do a college level coursework.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Now. Like, you have failed.
This was an easy assignment.
The assignment. Yeah. This was a no-brainer. It amounted to 3% of the final grade. So not even that consequential. She could have just taken the lesson of like, oh shit, okay, I have to, if I want to respond from a conservative perspective, I can do that.
Yeah.
Right. As long as I respond to it in an academic way, not on my religious feelings.
Yeah. This was the equivalent to a gym teacher saying, run a lap, and a person who is perfectly able to run the lap using the same amount of time and energy to stand there and lecture the gym teacher on why it's
the shorts are too short.
Yeah. Why Jesus doesn't do laps or
something. Right.
It doesn't this is unrelated, and you've wasted all of our time.
I mean, the holes in his feet would hurt.
Yes.
It would hurt for him to run a lap.
That's true. Jesus probably shouldn't run laps. Okay.
So that happened. That's the final update on that one, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully somehow something good comes for this graduate student.
Maybe this graduate student, some other actual university that cares about academia will, step up and say, hey, do you want to do it over here?
Yeah.
Do you want to get your degree from a university that actually that is actively devaluing all of the degrees that it has ever given out by taking these actions?
You're going to actually be able to be proud of the degree that you earned.
Right. Yeah.
Right. That you're actually going to be able to go out and use in any actual proper setting. I mean, I'm sure they can get a job in Oklahoma just fine, but that's not saying much.
Oh my gosh. Literally, I feel like that institution has just devalued its own, if someone shows me a degree from there, I'm less impressed now. Like, what the hell? Okay, I'm going to take us to Colorado. By the way, put a pin in that story and this story for our final segment.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, good idea.
Because there's a lot to go over there. But I'm going to take us to Colorado, just outside of Boulder, where the Flatirons Community Church exists, and this is an enormous mega church. They have over 10,000 people, attending in 5 different campuses. So it's a big deal. And that is where Pastor Jim Bergen standing, by the way, in front of his congregation in jeans and what looks like a jacket tucked into his jeans, but I think it's just a very bulky button-down shirt. That's who we're dealing with. That's this mega church pastor.
Okay. All right.
Bald guy in jeans and a belt. And he gave a sermon that was very like fire and brimstone-y, and largely about how, he talked about millions of babies being slaughtered every year, and
oh my God,
children are being made. Yeah, right.
Where's this happening, Dan?
Right here, man. Look around you.
How have I not heard about this?
Take the blinders off your eyes, man.
What? I feel like this would be a big story, Dan. How are we hearing it from
it's a big story among Christians. We're talking about abortion. Everybody knows that, right? Anyway, and now government has decided that they can determine what gender and sex really are, and children are being made to sit through gender and pronoun awareness puppet shows on the first day of kindergarten.
Really?
I guess so.
Okay.
Go to a public library on your school library. It's filled with pornographic how-to instruction books. Apparently.
Filled to the brim.
It's basically all they've got these days. That, and there's like one Garfield book off in the corner. So it's
but that is the pornographic one, Dan. That's the one you don't want to see what Odie gets up to.
Have you seen what that cat Dan does to that lasagna?
It's pretty graphic.
It's
Dan.
Graphic.
Yeah.
All right. And anyway, what this was leading up to is that he has partnered apparently with a group called Protect Kids Colorado, and they are putting up some. Look, Colorado's very blue at this point. It has wavered back and forth a little bit, but for the most part, it's a reliably blue state.
Right.
They vote left of center.
Sure.
At least for the U.S. There are other countries where it would be considered right of center. Anywho, what they're doing is they're trying to put some ballot measures on the ballots for this coming election season. That's back in November. And to do so, they need some signatures. The ballot measures are threefold. He has decided that child trafficking is happening all over the place, and it's just, according to him, literally kids are being just snatched up off the street and trucked away in U-Hauls to wherever.
Good Lord. That is alarming stuff, Dan.
It is.
The media is just ignoring this?
Yeah. Our children this is a quote. This is a quote from that same sermon. In the meantime, our children are being hunted and consumed by predators and pedophiles. Our children are being in surgery to alter their bodies to align their misguided feelings in biology. And boys are unfairly competing against our daughters. That feels like you started out with something terrifying and then moved on to decreasingly important things until it's just like, oh no, sports are less fair or something. Like, it's just build to it. You do those in reverse order, man. What are you doing?
I don't know, Dan. You haven't been around parents these days. They are fucking obsessed with their kids' athletics.
Oh my God. It's
in a completely unhealthy way.
Yeah.
Right?
Like literally, regardless of the trans issues. What?
Yeah.
Your kids' sports don't fucking matter. Well, tell that to my neighbor who's now an NCAA quarterback and making millions of dollars already.
Sure. I mean, there's a time and a place for sports. We had professional sports, right? And people who got to crazy levels of athleticism without every single child in America having to be a champion.
Right.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Well, yeah. And 99% of the children who play sports in school don't ever play sports again out of school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if they do, it's like a cute little rec league or something. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this guy's really so he's doing all of these ballot initiatives. One of them is to protect the kids from the trans sports kids. One of them is about not allowing unreversible gender affirming care for minors. No surgery. Which is funny because there's so many things they don't think about. They don't think. They just do it. So they're not going to think about the boys with gynomastia who want surgery to make sure that they don't have breasts because that's gender affirming care. They're not thinking about that. Anyway, and then the last thing is they want to make trafficking children. They want to increase the penalties for trafficking children.
Okay.
The truth of the matter is that, like, if you just say that, I want increased penalties for trafficking children, I'm pretty on board. I mean, I want to see your definitions of everything.
Definitions?
And they want,
what are the penalties now? What are you suggesting?
Yeah.
You know, okay, let's talk about that.
I mean, they want life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for sex traffickers. And, you know, the sex trafficking, it's a big tent. Like, does that mean that someone who has viewed child pornography counts? Or, you know, what? Anyway, I would want to see a lot more than just a petition, this thing. But I can get behind harsh sentences for child sex traffickers. Let's see. Does it apply to priests? I hope so. And pastors?
No, there's an exemption, I'm sure, written in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, the long and the short of it is that this guy basically told all of his followers that they were essentially traitors if they didn't sign these petitions on their way out of the building.
Traitors to America,
to Jesus,
to the nation.
and to America, and to whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the separation of church and state doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, this is a ballot initiative. The Johnson Amendment would be nice to still have, but okay, they're citizens. They're allowed to do a ballot initiative, but that kind of manipulation,
that's bad.
Is really yucky.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dan, this is a story that I feel like this has come up before on the show.
Okay.
But there was a lot of media covering it this last week. So I feel like maybe it would be on people's minds, and so we could dig into it a little bit. And this has to do with the most recent Pew numbers.
Oh yeah, okay.
That show this rapid de-churching of America. Right, is how they're kind of phrasing it. Right.
Oh, because that's not what we've heard, Frank. We've heard that has leveled off entirely, and now everyone's going back to church in droves.
Yeah, and in fact, they specifically end up referencing that claim. But this has to do with these numbers that show that 28% of Americans identify as religiously unaffiliated now, and that's up from 16% in 2006.
Yeah.
So this is us. This is the nuns, atheists, people who say they're agnostic, or just religiously unaffiliated, but none of the above. Right. Like I don't consider myself any of those things, but maybe spiritual, but not religious.
Sure.
You know, any of those.
Yeah.
So anyway, these numbers have just like skyrocketed, and they're saying this is happening on a scale and a scope that has never happened in another American generation.
Right.
And if you look at some of the numbers, 38% of those aged 18 to 29 so that they have no religion. That's up from 32% in 2013.
Yeah, almost 40% is
almost 40%.
A lot
of people under 30, right? Adults under 30. Those aged 30 to 49, 34% were religiously unaffiliated.
Okay.
Compared to 23% in 2013.
And 23 to 30. Wow. Okay. That's a jump.
Yeah. It's a sizable jump. And so a lot of this, and this is, I think, the interesting part, and that I don't think that we talked about the last time we talked about similar numbers. Analysts are pointing to a mixture of factors, because you kind of have to wonder why, right? Like we would all have our pet reasons why. We all like, well, church
as much
sucks, right?
As much as we'd like to believe it, it's not just that like, oh, religions are fake and we're all waking up to it.
Right.
That's not it.
Apparently, declining trust in institutions in general.
Oh God,
is a major factor, right? Yeah. People aren't just becoming disenchanted with our government.
Yeah,
it's all institutions, and if you think more broadly, we hate corporations. Yeah, largely,
which is shocking because it's so obvious that they have our best interests at heart. Those corporations out there.
But also growing political polarization that's tied to religion.
Yeah.
And this one's interesting too. The rise of online communities that offer moral frameworks, right? And the sense of belonging outside of traditional faith spaces.
Right.
I think we kind of had a sense of that one, but we're really they're seeing that now.
Sure.
Because they're asking these kind of questions. Social media, streaming platforms, and digital activism have all added to this trend, the sense of identity that's forming, and they don't require church membership, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or belief.
Why would they?
Right?
Yeah.
And the article, I thought this was amazing. The article actually pointed out that Donald Trump did not go to Christmas services this year. Right.
Duh. Why would he do anything he doesn't feel like doing? Right now, he gets a pass on anything.
But this trend, it has both political parties really concerned, apparently.
Okay.
And that makes sense for the Republicans. It might be a little counterintuitive, maybe for Democrats, because so many of the unaffiliated are on the Democratic side.
Right. It's because they don't want to retool their whole platform, and they need to. They don't honor us. They don't honor this whole block of their voters that wants you to say, hey, you know what? Religion should be in that sphere and not in our sphere, sort of thing.
Well, apparently, and this is what has them then concerned, as far as like, according to this article, is that it's a cost issue. It costs only about 45 cents to reach a religiously affiliated voter.
Oh,
but it costs $1.40 to reach us.
Why are we so expensive?
Because I don't know why, right?
That's crazy.
But like, there's so much outreach that's done through churches politically in this country, which is a problem.
Yeah.
It's a huge problem.
Right.
We've talked about a ton on the show, but it's made it cheaper even for the Democratic Party to reach individual voters.
Okay.
And it actually, like, maybe the two do kind of have a little bit of a relationship. The platform might be shaped a little bit by the people that they can reach easily.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's true.
But
what shocks me about this is, like, the pivot seems obvious to me, which is go to the socials, go to the social media, because it's not about, because what's happening in the churches is bullshit. Get out of the churches and go straight to the social media, and you'll win over all of those young people.
Sure, it just costs almost $1 more to do it that way, right? I think is the point here. Yeah. Anyway, so it's an interesting development in America.
Yeah,
it can't. I mean, if only this has happened sooner. Although the religious backlash was going to happen no matter when it happened.
Yeah,
but this is encouraging to me, right?
Yeah,
that like the rise of Christian nationalism is terrifying, and obviously as a minority group in a country can control the nation, right? Like, we know that's you just look at plenty of other countries in the world where that is the case, right? Not typically democracies, but
we live in one, and it's very possible.
But it's very possible to see this. I mean, they currently are in control right now, right?
Of all the houses of government.
And so hopefully, as time passes, if we can remain a democracy, we can get out of there.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, there you go. Be less expensive to reach, everybody. That's the goal.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell, just as a nice little, not amuse-bouche, because this comes out with a sorbet. For the end of this segment.
You can amuse your bouche whenever you want to, Dan.
Yeah, that's true. Just get your bouche amused, if you can. I'm going to tell the story of a rock. And this is a rock, just a big rock.
Okay.
That has called an LDS church in northern Utah, in Tremonton, Utah, which is a tiny little town close to the Idaho border. This rock has lived at this church for 80 some odd years. And what's weird about that, is it 80 years? Anyway, for a while. Nobody knows why. Yeah, about 80 years. Nobody knows why it got there. But it's just been sitting on the grounds of this church for that whole time.
Okay.
And what's interesting about this rock is that it actually has pictographs that are ancient Shoshone Nation or like ancient Native American pictographs.
Okay.
On it. And somebody decided to goink that off of a mountain and haul it all the way to Tremonton for no good reason and plop it at their church. No one knows how this happened or why this happened, but there it is, sitting there, just at this church. So
nobody will fess up. Nobody.
Well, I mean, it was 80 years ago.
Huh. But somebody's grandparent, would brag about.
Yeah, they don't. No one's talking. You're right.
Yeah, they feel shame. They know it's a shameful act.
Yeah, so someone in that family is now pissed because what has happened is finally the LDS Church, working with the Shoshone tribe and some Utah historians, have decided they have actually repatriated the rock back onto the side of a mountain somewhere in northern in northern Utah.
Really?
Yeah. They literally trucked it.
How big did you say it is?
It's pretty big. It's like I don't know, 3 feet tall and 5 feet wide or so. It's big. It's not, it's something that like you can't just chuck it into the back of a pickup. This is, they had to, it was kind of mounted, I think, on some concrete. So they had to dislodge it from the concrete. Then they put it in, then they trucked it down to Provo, which is well over 100 miles south, so that they could clean it up. So I guess they got the lichen off, but they were sure to like not damage the patina that happens over centuries on these rocks.
Yeah. And patina's important.
Well, it's what the petroglyphs are. It's the contrast of the patina and the petroglyph that makes it. Anyway, then they trucked it all the way back to close to the Idaho border and airlifted it via helicopter onto a cliff face somewhere, presumably where it was taken from.
And how, by what means is this thing fixed? Like some Gorilla glue? Like what did they? I'm tape probably. I don't know. Back in concrete
in our days back, did you have this in Mormon church where there was a little, like a dowel, a piece of dowel, and they would wrap some masking tape around it and just sort of that. Then they had individual masking tapes that they could issue from the church library to the teachers of the individual classes. You didn't have.
Oh, they learned their lesson once. They actually like gave out the whole roll or whatever.
And then another one was like, I need tape too, and they were like, I only have the one roll. So yeah.
Well, no, somebody absconded with it, right? Like this way. If it disappears, who cares? It's just a little dowel. Anyway. I thought you were gonna like talk about the putty that they used to make you put posters up with. In the classrooms. Do you remember this? The wall putty. Yeah.
Anyway, so a rock that is meaningful to the native tribes is now up in an undisclosed location because
even better.
They don't want anyone going and
stealing it again.
So there you go. No. The church actually gave up something that they had in their possession and gave it back to someone who, for whom it is meaningful.
Well, that's
nice.
I guarantee you, though, if their practice had been that every chapel had a Native American rock in front of it, they absolutely would not have.
No.
Been this is kind of a weird story.
Yeah.
But good for them. I presume, considering how expensive this all was, the church probably paid for the whole operation. Did
I see I think probably the church paid for it.
Because they have the money. Like,
they can afford it for sure.
And considering sort of the scale at which this is being done, reaffixing the rock in its natural setting.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Good.
There you go.
Good. I like this. I like this story. This is a feel-good story, Dan.
I wanted to end on something nice.
Yeah. That doesn't always happen.
No. We're bad at that. Anyway, if you would like to write into us about this rock or any of the stories that you've heard us talk about today, please feel free to do so. It's podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. We'd love to hear from you and play you on the show if possible. The telephone number is 424-666-8442. Stick around. There's more show coming up.
Well, Frank, we had some folks write into us, so let's get right to it. We had 2 guys write in with the same or a similar suggestion. When you'll recall, Frank, that we talked about people singing, Christianing at you on a plane, being trapped in a captive environment, and
for all of my try to be cool about religion out there, that story made me so angry. Right? And like viscerally, like I could just feel like, oh my God, if I was on that plane, I'd fucking freak out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we had some ideas for how to handle it. They were all bad, but Brian and Lawrence both also have bad ideas that they want to forward as how to handle this. So here we go. Brian says, "Hi, Frank and Dan. Listen to your recent episode that included a report of a missionary and friends on a flight hijacking the ears of the passengers and assaulting them with praise songs. While I have never had the displeasure of being in a similar situation, I would not yell at them. Instead, I would either clap loudly and horribly off time so as to mess them up, and or sing loudly off key and out of time. Bonus if it's a song that I know from when I was a professing Christian. I could really fuck up a song I know."
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I like
that's one option. Lawrence decided to chime in with this. "My voice is operatically trained. And although a few decades have passed, if I were ever confronted by such an airborne example of missionary zeal, I could readily bellow out a rendition of Figaro's opening aria from The Barber of Seville that would echo from first class to the rear galley." Or alternatively, I'd happily lead the rest of the passengers in rousing choruses of "Jingle Bells, Row, Row, Row Your Boat," or the perpetually repeating 99 bottles of beer on the wall. The last one is the correct one, by the way, Lawrence. If you need to, I do like 99 bottles of beer on the wall as a counter protest.
Yeah, no, I think that's actually really. I mean, what are they going to do? Tell you to stop singing?
Right.
Is that what the flight attendants are going to do? They're going to come tell you to stop?
Sir, would you please let the Christians finish their song?
Oh, no.
We're either all singing.
I would relish the opportunity to respond to that request.
Yeah. All right. Great. Let's keep going. "Hi, Frank and Dan." This was unsigned. "I was interested in your responses last week about how each of you left your religion and became an atheist. I grew up in what I look back upon as a pretty religious and conservative community in Ohio, but having no frame of reference, it didn't feel like that at the time. I was a member of a very white bread and insanely boring Methodist congregation. I attended and lit the candles for the services. I kept feeling that inspiration and enlightenment would come if I only tried harder. In my freshman year of high school, my English teacher said that he didn't believe in God, and I was shocked. I knew that many people around me probably also didn't believe, but to say so publicly, especially a public school teacher to his students, it was shocking. It took maybe a year, but eventually I decided that he was right. All of this time, I had been waiting for some kind of sign, which was never coming. Once I made this decision, it was pretty easy to adapt to a new view of reality. I've never looked back or had regrets. It was like suddenly being cured of a crippling disease, in fact." Yeah, that's it's nice when you get your walking legs or whatever.
Boy, that teacher.
Right? You just say something.
Well done.
Suddenly,
Yeah.
And finally, let me figure out which one I'm going to do. This is from Lloyd, who says, "Frank and Dan, mostly Frank. I was listening to an old episode of the show, and I heard you mention the Mormon phrase, 'As man now is, God once was. As God now is, man may be.'"
Yeah.
Which is kind of the Mormon take on afterlife, sort of, that they're trying to like gently and quietly walk away from a little bit. It hit me that this is an idea straight out of Star Trek. Trek repeatedly goes back to the idea that normal humanoids can evolve into godlike beings, including several episodes from the original series. That made me wonder, did a young Mormon Trekkie like Frank make this connection? Do Mormons see it? Is there Mormon/Trekkie subculture out there? Discuss.
I'd never connected it to the Mormon theology specifically. I don't remember making that connection. I don't remember I sat there as a little kid going, oh yeah, Star Trek believes the same thing we do. Because that definitely wasn't what appealed to me about Star Trek. Were those God episodes. I always was annoyed by the God episodes.
Right.
But yeah, that's fun. I like that connection though.
It's better than the Battlestar Galactica connections to Mormonism.
You think? Yeah, I mean,
no, it's not. It's not more connected. Like Battlestar Galactica was written by
super connected.
Was originally written by a Mormon, and there's all these little like
subtle
Easter egg things,
Mormon-y things in there. Yeah, yeah, I like that though.
Yeah,
the Mormons and Star Trek are in alignment.
I'm guessing that there are like Mormon Trekkie groups. I'm certain that there are. I recently saw a video of a Mormon furry group singing a hymn. It was this.
Wow. That's unexpected.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I've got some neighbors that we knew they were Trekkies before we knew that they were Mormons.
Oh, okay.
Just right down the street from us, because they just have like decals on their cars.
Oh, sure.
And then like not at Christmas. I wish it was at Christmas. At Halloween, they dress up in their costumes are always like Star Trek uniforms.
Oh, sure.
Right. And then they hand out the kids.
And the kid that they don't like has a red shirt.
Yeah. And so I know that it seems weird to me because they also put out like conservative political signs.
Ew.
And so like this I'm like, I don't know how their minds work, right? Like, how do you have liberal or like this liberal thing, which I feel like Star Trek's view of the universe is it's just a liberal utopia, right?
Yeah. Because liberalism is science fiction, Frank.
It only works in science fiction.
It only works as sci-fi.
There's a lot about Star Trek that only works in sci-fi, but yeah.
All right. Cool, well, fun. That's fun. We've got some folks to thank. I'm going to start us off.
Excellent.
Thanks. These are people who decided to donate through PayPal with a one-time donation. So James comes in at teacher level. Thank you so much, James.
Nice.
He says thanks for both all the laughter thank you both for all the laughter in this sea of insanity. And Ellen comes in with a yearly donation. We're going to call Ellen an elder. So that's Melchizedek priesthood, Ellen. You are extra fancy
high end
in your priesthood. Ellen says, time for annual gifts to you and Fufurf from this apostate Episcopalian. Thanks for all you do. The podcast is a weekly joy. Mary, Mary, hail Satan. And all that sort of thing. All right, thank you so much, Ellen. And we gosh, everybody, you're allowed to give just like these guys.
Yeah.
Yearly. You can do the monthly thing. Also, I'm guessing we've got some people to thank over on Patreon.
We do, Dan. These are people, including the people you just thanked, who went to our website, thankgodimatheist.com/donate, and clicked on one of the options there.
Make it your
being Patreon.
Make it your New Year's revolution to give us your money.
And so I've got a couple of people to thank. I have let's see, there's a new deacon by the name of Karen. Thank you, Karen.
Great, thank you, wonderful.
And Udo upgraded. Udo turned 16, and is now a priest.
Udo, congratulations!
So very well done.
You can now bless the sacrament and like I don't know,
and
baptize people.
Get your grimy fingers all over the bread.
Wow. But you do have magic powers, and that's really what's special about it.
And then, Dan, as always, we have our top donor to thank, our Lord and Savior.
Who is it? Who will it be?
Peter!
Woo! More show coming up. Well, Frank, It is
Dan.
a time in our nation. You and I lived through the satanic panic of the 80s and 90s. Back in the 1900s.
So much fun.
Delightful.
Yeah, you say it like that, Dan. That sounds awful.
I know. That's what the kids are saying now. The kids are talking about the 1900s now, and it just feels it feels mean.
That's gross. I don't like.
But it is true.
Well, but they also don't know the pleasure of having sort of a named decade.
Yeah.
We still don't call it the 20s.
No.
Right? Even though
these aren't because
I think we'll have
20s,
to be out of the 20s in order anyway.
Next,
it's coming sooner or later. I've started
next decade they're going to be like, "Hey, it's the 30s, man. Relax."
We better
right?
We better start saying that. The fact that it's the 21st century, it's getting old.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the 21st century anymore.
No.
Let's move on.
Let's pep it up a little bit.
Let's get the 20s behind us. Move on to the 30s.
The non-roaring 20s. Anyway, one of the things that's back with a vengeance, aside from the wide-legged pant, the Jenko jeans, another thing that's back is moral panic. A little bit of moral panic. Back in our day, we had not only it wasn't just satanic, though that's how it was often couched, was like Satan was everything, was everywhere and trying to get you.
Yeah.
But it was also just like, gays are going to ruin the world. And
well, AIDS was like all I ever remember hearing about in like the 5th grade and 6th grade were just these like urban legend stories about like people putting like AIDS infected razor blades in change things and soda machines. Did you ever hear that one? Like
no,
these dumb things that like middle school kids say to each other. And like, but AIDS was like on our minds.
Yeah.
And we were like, what is that? 13 years old? Not even like 11 years old. And we're like freaking out about AIDS.
Because it was terrifying.
Yeah.
We didn't, but like the worst part about it was that this was a disease caused by a virus that was being framed as God's retribution for all of these gross perverts who were doing gay.
Right.
And like everything was a moral thing. Everything was a demon thing. Everything, Dungeons and Dragons comes out and all the parents are like, this is demonic. This is terrible. And it's back. I'm just saying moral panic is back. It's come roaring back. We talked about the Colorado pastor who's so terrified of all, there's porn in every library. And they're giving like, gender reassignment surgeries to 6-year-olds.
It's like every 40 years we just have to devolve into this crazy panics because of society. Like because it was like the communists, right?
Yeah.
In the 40s.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's the Satan in the 80s. And now it's trans kids.
I guess. And now it's trans kids are coming to get you, and the child sex traffickers. Which, by the way, can we just say that human trafficking, like 90%, literally like 90% of human trafficking is just someone's uncle. Like child sex trafficking is someone's uncle doing, like trafficking a kid, or it's like it is in the family. It is not strangers abducting children. And it is certainly not an epidemic in the way that they talk about it.
Well, yeah.
But when it does happen, it's like a scoutmaster or a teacher. It's someone who knows the child. It's not a stranger off the street. So
is that sex
be aware
trafficking, or is that sexual abuse of a child?
All of it. But the trafficking, and all that means is like, anyway, we don't need to get into the definitions of everything.
Down that road, because I think what people are thinking about are instances of like, sex workers who are actually trafficked.
Yeah, that's also
like that is an actual thing.
Well, where
where
Jeffrey
they were trafficked and
was
like, yeah.
And the other thing is that like sex trafficking is what priests and what often priests and pastors do. Also,
Sure.
there's
Okay.
a whole anyway. But the point is that like it's not epidemic. It's not something that is happening to 1 in 5 children in the nation or anything like that. And that's how they make it sound. Because like proportionality is absolutely out of control. Like if you said anything in proportion these days, you wouldn't even be heard. So now everything has to be blown
Right.
so wildly out of proportion. And this is, let's be clear, this is a big problem on the right. It is also a big problem on the left.
Mm-hmm.
We are like our purity tests for who gets to not be canceled or who's doing okay and who's an evil person and who's, if you don't have all of the correct beliefs, left-wing beliefs, and you disagree with me on any of these things,
Dan, you're not supposed to point that out.
I know.
That's cancelable, Dan.
Well, it's so, look, I'm on the verge of being
How
canceled
dare you?
because I have admitted in the universe to using AI every now and then. And that's like, oh my God, the way that liberals will come down on you. You don't know, like, get proportional about it.
Yeah.
Yes, it uses too much electricity now as a burgeoning new thing. And yes, it's going to, but that will actually go down as the technology advances. And yes, it
Boy,
uses
you
too
are
much.
like some AI apologist, Dan. Like, where are you getting this stuff?
In case you don't know, Frank is currently on ChatGPT finding new buses that he can throw me under.
Yeah, no, look,
Yeah.
I can ask. It has like transcripts for almost all of our episodes.
And that's the thing. We use it.
I use it. Oh yeah, I totally use it.
And if you're outraged and in a moral panic about it, maybe do some more research and figure out where the proportion of like proportionally how worried you should be about it. Because, we see these wild headlines that are like, AI industry uses more water than the bottled water industry. And
Oh my God.
that's actually true. But it
Oh my God.
it uses less water in the United States than the golf industry. So
Oh,
Are you-
Dan, how dare you?
are you raising the same desperate concerns? Are you just as
How?
panicked about golf?
And
Because
yeah,
use of water, it's not like the water goes away and is never usable again. It sucks. It sucks that they're using anyway.
Dan, they are shipping in Perrier and Fuji water or whatever, Fiji water.
Yeah.
And it is awful because it's like, anyway, I could go down. No, Dan, you were treading in dangerous territory here because like you are absolutely right to point out the left does this, and it is and it's not both sidism, right, to point it out, and it is treated like it is, right. If you dare level any kind of allegation or point out anything that's like, well, who also does this,
Right.
So it's very brave of you, Dan, to say this. I don't know. I will have to see what happens to.
It's also brave of you, Frank. I want to point out your bravery for carefully distancing yourself from the topic that we both decided to talk about at the end of the show.
Clearly, Dan, if you can't see the tongue firmly in my cheek,
yes, true.
no, like I've believe me, this has been on my mind for a very, very long while now.
Yeah.
Of the hypocrisies of the left, right? Yeah. This is turning into a different conversation though than I think.
Yeah, it is. It is. We could get back to, because it's so much worse on the right. It is everything.
And that is the important way that is how you
just got yourself off the hook is to say that they do it worse than we do. And I'm not sure that that's true. I'm actually willing to say that I think that like we just do it in ways that, well, first of all, they're not steeped in like weird religious or supernatural. Well, some of it's anyway. It's a mess, and these traps, these thought traps that you can fall into, are just as problematic on the left as they are on the right.
Yeah, except that the ones on the left don't wind people up in like torture prisons in El Salvador, and they don't wind people up in,
well, sure,
you know what I mean? Like people aren't dying because of the rhetoric. People, you know, trans people aren't committing suicide or being ostracized out of the world because of the rhetoric of the left. The rhetoric of the left ostracizes, you know, I don't know, comedians or whatever. It's like it's I think people on the left blow things wildly out of proportion, but the consequences of what happens to when the left does it are vastly different than the consequences.
I'm
of
fine
the right
with that, but the lack of thought that goes into it is just as problematic.
Is the same
for actually having a quality conversation on the left about what needs and should be happening on a lot of these issues.
Agreed.
Right. And we have talked about these things, most of them probably offline.
Yeah.
About like you can't get into the nuance of an issue because you're going to be absolutely castigated. Right. I heard Gavin Newsom actually talked about his stance on the trans sport issue. And I was shocked to hear him actually admit his position.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, oh, wow. Like that's okay. But that's sort of where we're at. Like, it's so easy to find yourself on the wrong side of the right way to talk about an issue. And that is a problem.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, literally,
you should be able to make a mistake and be able to, especially a rhetorical mistake, and be able to recover from it.
And you should be able to disagree if we can agree that, like, you know, I don't know, like, you should be able to have a nuanced position that isn't that isn't a hard line one way or another on something, and not have the world collapse around you.
Yeah.
And I don't think that now is a time when that is possible on the left or the right. And that's something we need to be working our way toward.
That's bad.
It's bad.
It's like, if it's just purity on both sides, you can never as a nation actually talk about these things.
Well, and also
because you can't.
We're supposed to be the side that's not about dogmas. Like, we're supposed to be the side that's like not that doesn't just have
we love
articles
to tell ourselves that, Dan.
I know.
We love to tell ourselves.
But boy, if you
don't have dogma,
stray from one of the articles of faith on the left at all, suddenly it's like, denounce Israel or you're going to hell. You know what I mean? It's like so everything collapses on you. I denounce Israel, by the way, or at least the government of Israel and its treatment of the Palestinians. Okay.
You're starting to sound like an older white male atheist all of a sudden.
What? Wait, what's happening? No, I'm not. They're all the worst ones.
But I agree with you. I'm not throwing you under the bus.
Yeah.
It's
a scary moment in our history, and the way, and I don't know how we navigate our way out of this, other than starting by denouncing it. And so that's what we're doing.
Moral panic.
No moral panic. It's fine. There are things that are bad, and we need to fix them. And it doesn't help anything to blow them out of proportion and make them sound like they're literally the end of the world.
Yeah.
All right. Well, get Jesus, everybody. If you would like to write into us and tell us how we're so wrong about AI and we're going to hell because of it, you may do so. It is fine. We will listen. Podcast at thankgodimatheist.com.
or call and leave us a voicemail message. We'd love to hear from you. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah, to support the show, go to thankgodimatheist.com/donate.
This episode was edited by Roger Gowdy, and music was provided by the Red Rock Hot Club and Gordon Johnston.
And thanks so much to all of y'all for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank God I'm Atheist is a production of TGIA Media, LLC, copyright 2025, all rights reserved.